Hello everyone, it's Sandra, and today's video is going to be about one of my favorite makeup topics, foundation. Loosely ranking all 13 of my current foundations in order from least favorite to most favorite, but I do like all of these. I don't really have anything that I particularly dislike in my collection, but obviously I gravitate towards certain formulas and products over others. Before I get into it, I also wanted to give you some initial thoughts on the new Makeup Forever foundation. I got a little sample of it. Sephora had this offer where you could, I think there were maybe 7 shades to choose from. You know, when you go shopping on the Sephora website, there's like a section where they give you some active coupon codes, and there are a lot of interesting gift with purchases on there. And they had samples of the new Makeup Forever foundation. Back when I used the original HD foundation from Makeup Forever, my shade was Y245. And in this new formula, the shade 1N14 pertains to shade Y245, so it worked out perfectly. Curiosity got the best of me. Someone compared this to the Lisa Eldridge foundation, and that foundation is like at the top of my wish list as soon as I use up one of my current open foundations, so that just set my antennas going. And yeah, anyway, I picked up the sample of this. This is very long-winded. I love this, and I'm definitely going to be buying a full size of it. Maybe a little less coverage than the Lisa Eldridge foundation. Like, think if the Lisa Eldridge foundation and Dior Face and Body had a foundation baby, this would be it. A great one for us oily combination girls. Such a skin-like finish. I am wearing it today. The color match is very, very good for me. I'd say if you like Dior Face and Body, if you liked the Lisa Eldridge foundation, if you like the Fenty Skin Tint, you will really like this. This is like a more amped up version of the Fenty Skin Tint. It definitely has a bit more coverage, but it really, really looks like skin. It has the tendency to cling a little bit on some dry patches. If you have maybe drier skin and you have a more persistent issue with surface dryness, you might want to really, really prep your skin well with a very nourishing primer, or maybe just skip this. This has potential to enter my top 5 favorite foundations. It's exactly the type of foundation that I want. It's so good for every day. Buildable, medium coverage foundation, can be worn really sheer and natural, can be built up a little bit for nights out. Just thought I would start the video off with on a high note, you know? Seriously, how cool would it be if all foundations gave us this little sampling option? All right, now in terms of my foundations, I thought I would group them in categories by coverage and rank them from there. Starting with my least used foundation category, the full coverage foundations. Full coverage foundations have taken a huge backseat over the last 2 years for me. I rarely reach for them, to be honest. They used to be my jam. I used to love full coverage foundations, especially fuller coverage foundations with a more matte finish. I found them super, super long wearing. You know, I was super self-conscious with my skin. I would have a lot of breakouts, and I just wanted, like, a full coverage foundation was like my safety blanket. My preferences have certainly shifted, and my fuller coverage foundations, while they're all really great, just have not been getting that much love. And out of the 3 full coverage foundations that I own, my least used is the Giorgio Armani. This is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric High Coverage Foundation Balm. And this actually looks really gorgeous on the skin. It's got like a matte velvety finish. Shade 4.5 matches my skin in the wintertime really well. But yeah, I just very rarely reach for this. It doesn't have the best staying power on my skin. Occasionally in the wintertime, I'm able to, you know, be able to wear this all day long without any issues because my skin isn't as oily. But if I have an oily T-zone day, it tends to really come through. The next one is the Clarins Everlasting Foundation. Now, this has the ability to smooth over my texture so beautifully. It's a tiny little bit too yellow for me. This is shade 105.5W. This works really, really well mixed with the Auric Glow Lust or mixed with a face oil. When I do that, it gives it a little bit more life because this can be quite thick. So I can dilute it to give me more of that medium coverage finish and still reap the benefits of the longevity. Looks really nice and smooth. It's just not my most reached for. And then my favorite of my fuller coverage foundations is the Pure Love Your Selfie 4-in-1 foundation. This is a foundation and concealer in one. I really like this because while it is a fuller coverage product, it gives me more playtime. It's not quite as matte as the previous two, so it's a bit more versatile. I can wear this year round. I can also wear this, I can wear this as a concealer. So even if I do like a tinted moisturizer all over my face, I can just use the doe foot applicator of this and amp up the coverage where I need it. So it's just a bit more versatile and user-friendly. Now moving on to more medium coverage foundations, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of all 6 of them, my least favorite is one that's actually in my project pan. And again, just because it's my least favorite of the bunch doesn't mean I don't like it, but it's the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude foundation. I wear this in shade 4.5. It's a decent color match for me. Maybe a little bit too dark for use in the middle of winter, but I can definitely make it work. My issue with this product is that it's hard for me to get a consistent, solid, good day out of it. Sometimes I wear it and my skin looks amazing all day long. Other times it clings to dry patches, it doesn't wear nicely. I have a hard time getting like consistent results with it. The best way for me to use this has been using the Lisa Eldridge Patchwork skin technique. She did a YouTube tutorial not that long ago. I'm going to link it below if you're interested in watching. And when I watch that video and I repeat it step by step using this foundation, just like doing little bits at a time and just working it into the skin with my fingers, that's how I can get the best results with this foundation. But sometimes that can be a bit too time consuming for me. So if I just want a quick and easy everyday application, using a foundation brush or a sponge, I don't get as good of a result. So it's just too finicky. And for me, like the medium coverage foundation, for me, that's an everyday staple. That's a formula that I want to be able to just slap on and go. I want to be able to use it with fingers. I want to be able to use it with a brush. I want to be able to use it with a sponge without any issues, without thinking twice about what I'm wearing underneath, about whether I've exfoliated my skin enough. You know what I mean? So it's just a bit too finicky for me overall, but it is nice. It's a beautiful foundation. I have friends that, this is one of their holy grails. So it's not a bad foundation. It's just, for me, I just have foundations that I like better. Next up would be the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This is a beautiful foundation. Shade 3.5 is a very, very good color match for me. This is a beautiful medium coverage foundation. This is a nice special occasion foundation for me in the fall and winter months. It doesn't have the best longevity for me to be able to wear it as an everyday foundation, especially in the warmer months, because it does, my oils definitely shine through after a few hours, but the finish is just gorgeous. This is a classic for a reason. When I'm in the mood for it, it always delivers. And, it's been in and out of my makeup collection for the last 10 years, probably even longer than that. And just like Lancome Tanti Doll, it's just one of those iconic brand staples that I can see it continuing being an in and out type of product in my foundation rotation. In terms of ranking, I would actually rank this next foundation, it's on par with the Luminous Silk Foundation in terms of performance. This just has a tiny bit more coverage, and it's the Clé de Peau Radiant Cream Foundation. This is the newly reformulated version. They are very, very similar. This, like I mentioned, this just has more coverage. I think in the grand scheme of things, if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Luminous Silk over it just because I like the delivery system better. I like the pump. I have a better color match in this formula. But if you are an avid user of Luminous Silk, but you just feel like you could use a little bit more coverage, check out the Clé de Peau. It's a stunning foundation formula. Next, we're moving, one rank higher would be the Pat McGrath foundation. And I fall in and out of love with this foundation. And right now I'm in a love phase again. I find that the more consistent I am with it, the more I appreciate it. If I use it consecutively every single day for 1 to 2 weeks, every single time I just grow to appreciate it a little bit more and more and more. This foundation also looks a lot like skin. It's again a solid medium coverage foundation. Looks beautiful on camera, looks beautiful in photos. It just doesn't have the best lasting power on my skin. I can get away with using it as an everyday foundation in the fall and winter, but in the warmer months, I can only really use it, you know, in the evening for a few hours, or, you know, I have to use a shine control primer and a mattifying powder on top. So I can definitely make it work year round, but there are some foundation formulas like the Dior Face and Body Foundation and the new Makeup Forever foundation even that kind of gives me the same results, but with better lasting power. Very similar in terms of coverage and the fact that they look like skin, but with a bit more lasting power. This is the now discontinued by Terry Sheer Expert. Shade 7 Vanilla Beige was like chef's kiss, the perfect little bit of olive undertone, but neutral. I don't know why I'm bothering talking about the color match and how great this was, because it's you can no longer get it. But trying this Makeup Forever foundation, they're very comparable. Like, this gives me hope, and yeah, I love this, and I still use it really often. I love to just apply this with my fingers. It just, no matter what I have underneath, no matter what my skin situation is, no matter what skin prep I did, this just always works. I never have any pilling issues with it. It's just very easy. It's an easy everyday staple. So that's why it ranks high. It's definitely a foundation that I will miss, but there are so many incredible foundations being launched every day. It feels like I may have found a worthy replacement. The Giorgio Armani cushion. I love this so much. This, like the by Terry, just delivers consistent results no matter my skin issue. This works for me in the winter, in the summer. It has decent lasting power. It's not too matte, it's not too dewy. It looks like skin, very light but buildable, medium coverage. Shade 4.5 is a very, very good color match for me. Unfortunately, this foundation has quite significant downsides. The shade selection is absolute garbage. It is refillable. It's a refillable compact, but I cannot buy refills for it in the United States. I've seen them, but not in shade 4.5. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to get refills in my shade for this product. I'm really not sure what Armani's plans are for this foundation. I keep hoping that they expand the shade range and just kind of launch it globally, but it doesn't seem to happen. I think it was just supposed to be a regional launch. One of my most reliable beauty enthusiast friends here on YouTube, Bekah Sun, her and I have very, very similar foundation preferences, and she also really loves this. But she has been wearing the M Cosmetics cushion, and she says that they're very, very similar. So I will be trying that out as well. And I have hopes, you know, I have hopes that that's a comparable product, but I have to give this a shout out and a high ranking because this is a holy grail foundation for me. Skin tints, tinted moisturizers. I have 4 to share with you, and I actually really, really like all 4 of these. The differences in the ranking will be kind of based on color matching and longevity on the skin. In 4th place, we have the Trinity London BFF Tinted Serum. This is in the shade Binky, which is it's decent, you know, it's a decent color match, maybe like a hint too peachy, but with these types of products, with, you know, with skin tints, tinted moisturizers, it doesn't have to be an exact color match because it's, you know, they're sheer products, and I can definitely make all of them work with ease. They're just great slap and go, my skin but better types of products. But, you know, we're gonna be nitpicky here when ranking. I do really like this. It doesn't have the best lasting power in the middle of summer, but they do have a new version of this. They have a new oil-free version of it that's supposed to be better suited for oily combination skins. So I am curious how that one compares. Next, we have the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. This is a beautiful tinted moisturizer. This is slightly more velvety than the Trini London. It's it just really looks like skin. Like the Trini London has a hint of luminosity to it. This really looks like skin, and this can be built up. I use the shade Vanilla in this product, and it's like a hint too yellow. I wish it was a bit more neutral, but the finish is very skin-like. It has like a soft blurring effect. It's really pretty, but the two main downsides of this product are the price. It is a very expensive product, and the overall shade range is not great. One of the most iconic products from Chantecaille, so it would be a shame not to have this in as many beautiful options as possible so that more people can enjoy it. It's a great tinted moisturizer. In second place is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. Now this isn't quite as plush and moisturizing feeling as the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. I think if you are more on like the normal to slightly drier skin type, the Chantecaille or the Trini London would be better options for you. But if you are normal to oily combination, the NARS Tinted Moisturizer is a fantastic option. This has such beautiful lasting power on the skin, can really easily be applied with fingers, with a brush, with a beauty blender. It's a really great, easy, slap on and go type of formula. And there also are a lot of shades to choose from, which is great. Which brings us to the first place in the skin tint category, and it's the Fenty Skin Tint. I love this product. I discovered it last year. I have mentioned it several times. So if you have been watching me for the last year, you will know how much I love this base product. It's so beautiful. It really is my skin, but better. It gives me a very, solid light to medium coverage. It has this beautiful, like a soft focus effect on the skin, like a slight blurring effect. Shade number 6 is a perfect color match for me. It's a really great neutral color with like a hint of olive, but it's not a golden olive. It's just it's a very nice neutral. My hand is more tanned than my face right now, but it's a really good color. It's a great everyday slap and go product that I can wear year round, but especially in the summertime. This just really shines for me in the summertime. Like this on top of the Shiseido oil-free sunscreen is like a bulletproof, my skin but better summertime combination for me. So I really enjoy this product. That's it. Those are all my current foundations, loosely ranked in categories depending on coverage. I hope that this was entertaining, informative, useful. Let me know what your top 3 favorite foundations are in your stash right now. I always love to know what you're loving and using. So we'll be chatting in the comments below. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.